Early this week, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Major General Kahindo Tafire asked Parliament to give Cabinet 2 weeks to refine the Constitution Amendment Bill of 2017 after it received stiff resistance.
Aware that government owes Ugandans billions and billions of shillings.
Now, the Uganda Law Society has asked Cabinet to totally withdraw the bill because it's not necessary since there are adequate laws to tackle the land problem government seeks to cure.
Appeal to government to completely withdraw this bill. It is unnecessary, and because there are many options in which government can deal with the issues that it proposes to do.
The controversial bill seeks to amend Article 26 of the Constitution to allow government to take possession of private land for public works by depositing the contested sum for compensation in the court as the works go on, awaiting resolution of the dispute. Last week, when Deputy Attorney General Mwesiga Rukutana, Lands Minister Betty Amongi, and other senior government officials appeared before the Legal and Parliamentary Committee that is considering the bill, they received a lot of resistance from the MPs. The Uganda Law Society agrees that public projects and investments should not be delayed due to compensation fights, but they say government is jumping the gun.
The Constitution has already provided for this power with sufficient clarity under Article 26. But we also note that that same Constitution provides that a detailed law will be brought to effect compensation in such instances.
The lawyers urge the government to instead amend the Land Acquisition Act to address the challenges in executing public projects and investments on land, including setting a time frame to resolve compensation disputes.
The current Land Acquisition Act is, of course, an old law, but it does not stop government from using it, as we've said, under regulations, quicken the dispute. But as they use it to resolve the issues, they should be thinking in the medium term about bringing back that bill.
The Law Society raised a number of other concerns in the Constitution Amendment Bill. Depositing money in the courts of law doesn't mean compensation because courts of law can only receive the money after adjusting and making a finding on the land dispute that the compensation is fair and adequate. The proposed amendment is unconstitutional as it limits the fundamental right to property. Parliament cannot make an amendment which negates fair and adequate compensation prior to taking property. The fact that the property is compulsorily taken from an owner when he or she rejects the compensation deprives one's access to courts to protect their rights. An amendment that gives government power at the expense of the people in a complete distortion of what the Bill of Rights provides for.
There's a high probability that the bill will be challenged and in fact will be declared unconstitutional by the court. There is a very high probability, and as lawyers we have looked at it, it has very grave problems.
In the long term, the Law Society believes that the justification government has raised in the bill are weak and urge the government to consult widely next time before coming up with a bill of that nature.
So I want to appeal to government that matters of constitutional amendment must be well thought out, must have adequate public participation, and they must go through a process that is acceptable to at least a majority of stakeholders.
More research all NTV Weekend Edition.